When I worked here, I had a map of Disneyland on my wall right next to my desk. You can literally stand in the middle of a school often, like at Yavapai College, and feel like you're at the hub of Disneyland and just say, what adventure do I want to take? What frontier do I want to discover? What fantasy do I want to fulfill in my life? And what preparations can I make for tomorrow?
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
One thing that has always amazed me about the history of the college is how it started with an idea.
I met Opal Allen on the parking lot. Opal was concerned about something. I said, "What's up?" And she said, "I think we need a college in Yavapai County." And she was really serious about it.
Yavapai Prescott Indian Tribe was instrumental in smoothing the way for Yavapai College to receive the land it was built on.
They relinquished their right to the land so that Yavapai could move forward.
These 46 odd acres left out of our land exchange would ultimately become the Yavapai College campus.
And when faculty started coming, they were so passionate about their work. They would fly to Fredonia, they would fly to Baghdad, they would travel to Sedona, Black Canyon City, building their programs.
The campus was under construction at the time. Well, these four buildings are the original four buildings. The impression was it was a prison because it was gray concrete. They've remodeled them all.
99, proceeded, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Right away, Houston.
Prescott was an exciting town. When we moved here in July of 1971, we saw the parade and they were filming Junior Bonner down there. And it was just, we thought they do this all the time in Prescott.
When I first got there in 1977, there were 4 buildings on campus. And you have to imagine, part of Verde campus is 120 acres, and these 4 little tiny buildings were there.
I looked forward to attending Yavapai College. It was really the foundation for my education as an adult. The intensity of learning and having to study at home and do those kinds of things really started with Yavapai College.
America's first space shuttle, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
I began working at Yavapai College in 1980. Shooting promotional programs and highlights of things on campus was a real high point working at the college. We actually did a segment on the on-campus program of the library, a tour of the library. One of the other things that they had available at the college was microfiche and microfilm readers. And then for one thin dime, you could put it in the machine and get a copy of that material, whether it was for personal interest or for research or whatever. So that's the way it was done back in the day.
Back when I started going to school here in 1987, it was real nice because it was a small little community. We knew everybody. We've got an incredible legacy here as far as athletics goes, particularly our baseball program. We've got 18 former Yavapai College athletes that have played in the major leagues.
I remember earlier on with one of our basketball teams, we had one particular gentleman that was really kind of a team clown, and they had went out to Lynx Lake and caught several wild ducks and brought them back to campus, and we had a one-body whirlpool in the training room and filled it up with water and put these wild ducks in there, turned off the light, shut the door. I don't know how they got a key to get in, in the first place, but they said, oh, there's a recruit in there using your whirlpool. That was just an example of kind of a unique little deal where you wouldn't expect people to go out and catch a couple of wild ducks. I don't know how they did it, but we put them back in the boxes and they had to go put them back in the lake.
I went from 0 credits to a JD in 5.5 years. I came to Yavapai and the Ken Myers and the Dr. Spences and the Serge Aineses and those, right down the line. Every one of those people, from my counselor to the president to the head of the English department, I got my BA in English. Every single one of those people said, how much of that can I help you carry? Dr. Pence was the same way. He would take you into the office and he'd say, look, you're going farther than this school. We want to see you go further than this school. And here's what I want you to do with your writing. This is important to him. You understand what I mean? And so that was the thing. It wasn't just a case of going to college and sitting on that football field with 1,199 other students listening to a videotape, okay? This was about people who knew who I was. That's personal. That's caring about the student. That hangs on my wall. There are some other things there now along with it. But structurally, that's the foundation right there. Am I appreciative of this college? Nothing would have happened for me without Yavapai College.
So I started in Baghdad around 1991 because I was living there at the time. And really, if I rolled it back a couple of years, my first introduction to the college was as a student. Ken Meyer recorded every one of his Western Civ classes for me for an entire semester, sent them to me on an old VCR tape, addressed me as he did the class when he opened it every time, allowed me to do all of my papers from there, and with his help then I finished my associate's degree with the college.
I started in August of 1995. They gave us a training on the internet, which is hysterical now because they said, don't use too many characters in your communication because we don't want to use up all the ink on the internet. Since I started, we turned racquetball courts into the Southwest Wine Center. People come from all over. It's a destination program. We have 13 acres of vineyard and have just recently won the Jefferson Cup for one of 12 wines in the country. The Sedona Center now has the culinary program and the hospitality program and OLLI all running together. The 2 new kitchens, there's a baking and pastry side, and then there's the savory side. 2 state-of-the-art kitchens. They, you don't see any kitchens like that on any of the cooking shows on any network at all.
So how I got my start here at Yavapai College was bringing a pretty untraditional curriculum to people. You can imagine someone like me coming into an office and saying, hey man, I can teach you survival skills. There was a little bit of a step back when I did that. But eventually when I proved the curriculum and what it could do and the value it could add to the college, they saw it and they went forward, and I've been teaching here for more than 20 years. The cool thing about Yavapai College is they gave me a chance before most other people did. I do have my own business in outdoor survival skills, but I was able to come here and train and hone my craft to then later launch that off into some national TV stuff where I was educating millions of people a night. But all the while, Yavapai College has been there supporting what I do.
To me, at this point in time, the people who I learn the most from, sorry faculty and staff, but are the students. They give me hope because how they interact is very crucial to our future for the world. We have more doctorates than the average community college, significantly more. Now, if you measure quality on doctorates, which I don't, but yet that's one measure that the public understands sometimes or uses, it's reflective of the strength of our faculty. But while I challenge anybody to look at any of our vocational faculty and question their abilities. They're good, they're strong, they're into their workforce and their profession. For facilities, to the technology that we have, that just didn't happen by accident. So I look at the college of the future and where this college is. One, I'm so happy to say that it is now. Who is a student? Most colleges think, and most of the public think of students as a credit. No, we have kids 6 weeks old here in our Family Enrichment Center to 99 or whatever, and with OLLI, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. But what do we have here? I look at everybody that we interact with, whether it's credit, non-credit, businesses, the public that come on for Saturday market, to film festivals, to whatever. They're students to me. They have a learning experience here.
As Disney said about Disneyland, as long as there's imagination in the world, Disneyland will never be complete. And as long as there's imagination in the world, I think that colleges will continue to thrive and offer people not only educations and knowledge, but entertainment and enjoyment and fulfillment as well.
There are so many people who wouldn't have a chance of going to college or anything beyond high school if it weren't for Yavapai College.
Yavapai College gave me a solid start at a time when I really needed one, and I'll be forever grateful. I got my start at Yavapai College.
We got our start at Yavapai College.
I got my start at Yavapai College. Go class of '83!
We got our start at Yavapai College.
I got my start at Yavapai College.
I got my start at Yavapai College.
There's a story about Elaine Farrar, who was an art instructor. She was in the plane going to Baghdad, and the back door of the plane flew open, and all of her art supplies went out the back.
Yeah, Yavapai College has always been part of our fiber in my life growing up. I started here literally on roller skates. Dad was a part of the origination of the original Faculty Association Constitution. So a lot of those words I read in that Constitution that I carry around, I know came from a core group of faculty that cared very much about governance and how colleges are run back in the early 70s. So we are what we are today because of the faculty that came before us.
When you talk about the Verde Valley now, you can't help but say the wine industry. Even down to, if you look at the city of Cottonwood, their new slogan is Heart of Arizona Wine Country. And that's on all their official documents and things like that. People are calling it what Napa used to be 25 years ago. And if you see the growth and where it's going, you can't help but say, this is definitely happening here. Culinary is coming on, the whole hospitality is coming on, and all those things are kind of ancillary to the wine industry. They all work together.
I eventually left the AV services because all of the equipment became integrated with computers as the college renovation went on, which is nice because it's really upscale and has a lot more possible uses and things. But for an old guy like me, who used to run 16 millimeter projectors, when I read the job description of troubleshoot integrated something or others, I thought maybe it's time for me to let a younger, better guy come in and take my place. So.
Our traditional values was, be helpful to the people who are here. We are honored that you have named your college after us, the Yavapai people.